This is the Cholo News Report for Wednesday 16 January 2019. The largest human gathering in the world, the Kumbh Mela Festival, starts at Prayagraj. More than 120 million Hindu devotees, as well as tourists, are expected to visit the North Indian city of Prayagraj over the next few weeks for the Kumbh Mela, a vast spiritual festival at the point where two sacred rivers, the Ganges and Yamuna, converge. Kumbh Mela graphic pilgrims at the unescalisted festival will traverse a pop-up city of more than 185 miles of roads, nearly 12 dozen pontoon bridges, a hospital, 40 police stations and 120,000 toilets. Many belong to one of the 13 major sects represented at the fair, first formed as militant defenders of Hindu temples, and who in the past have turned their fire on each other to determine who bathes in the holy river first. North Korean officials are expected to visit the United States to discuss a second summit between the two countries. When? Inside. Trump serves fast food amid shutdown. Myanmar court rejects jailed reporter's appeal. May makes final plea ahead of Brexit vote. Spike Lee joins the killers for protest video. The meeting, led by United States Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and senior North Korean official Kim Yong-chol, will take place either on Thursday or Friday, the Chosun Ilbo said on Tuesday, citing an unnamed diplomatic source familiar with the talks. If confirmed, the meeting could mean the two sides are inching closer to a compromise after a months-long impasse over how to move forward in ending North Korea's nuclear and missile programs. The United States is considering partially easing sanctions in exchange for the North discarding and sending abroad its victims, in addition to a freeze in its nuclear program, the Chosun Ilbo said, citing the source. Laurent Gbagbo, former president of Ivory Coast, is acquitted of crimes against humanity charges by the International Criminal Court. During the political standoff there were bloody clashes and targeted killings in Abidjan in the south, and several hundred were massacred in the western town of Duikor. Prosecutors said Mr. Gbagbo clung to power by all means, and charged him with 4 counts of crimes against humanity, murder, rape and other forms of sexual violence, persecution and other inhuman acts. Presiding Judge Kuno Tafasa said the prosecution had also failed to demonstrate that public speeches by Gbagbo constituted ordering or inducing the alleged crimes. U.S. District Judge Des Furman issues a decision that invalidates the Trump administration's addition of a U.S. citizenship question to the 2020 census. This is the first ruling on this issue. There are 4 more lawsuits, filed by dozens of states, cities and other groups, yet to be heard. Furman found that the decision by Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross to add the citizenship question to the 2020 census was unlawful because of a veritable smorgasbord of classic, clear-cut violations of the Administrative Procedure Act, including cherry-picking evidence to support his choice. The judge also ruled that the plaintiffs did not provide enough evidence to prove their claim that Ross' decision was intended to discriminate against Latinos, Asian Americans, Arab Americans and immigrant communities of color in general.